Hi, I'm Minotaur. Have you ever been sitting down to play a game, whether that be Siege or some other game, and just got a terrible map and decided that you'd much rather do something else? I sure have. As I really enjoy Siege, I decided I'd take a look at the maps within the game to find out why I do or don't like some of these maps, compare some stuff, and share my findings so that you, the viewer, also don't have to commit to searching for yourself. So to start off, I'd like to discuss something that's rather unique to Siege, that being breaches. Breaches mainly serve as a way for attackers to gain ground without just winning gunfights. For example, let's imagine a world without breaches. Actually, no, let's just imagine coastlines since it's less work to imagine and practically has no useful breaches anyway. Let's say you're attacking Hookah and Pool. You have several choices of where you're going to push from, whether you're going through Aqua, Hookah Balcony, or Cool Vibes. It doesn't particularly matter where you decide to push from because it's going to turn out the same. You'll either win or you lose the gunfight. In most cases, there was no puzzle to solve, no lock to open, and you just hope P-Brain Warden main doesn't shoot you before you shoot him. You might have a soft wall here, but so what if you open it? Are you gonna repel in this massive courtyard? You're already dead. Contrast this with Clubhouse. You could push up red or through construction. If you're feeling extra suicidal today, you could even push up rafters. The thing that matters here is that you've got another option, that being explosives. Instead of being forced to take a gunfight, attackers have the option to solve the problems in a different way. By opening up CCTV, attackers have access to site without contesting Warden in construction. Defenders still have the tools to deal with this, like wall denial. If you have a good bandit, attackers can't get the wall open anyway, but at least the option's there for them to try. This isn't to say that Coastline is bad, of course, more that it's just lacking a certain feature. If you and your squad are far more gun focused, then I completely understand liking Coastline because that's more of what the map focuses on. Blowing stuff up is cool and all, but what if you did it vertically? That's still cool. In fact, it's actually the next thing we're going to be discussing. Soft floors and hatches are another big part of Siege's map design. Similarly to the breaches we discussed, Verticality allows players to bypass defender strong points as well as get some unique angles. Take Bank for example. Through a series of hatches, the player can move between all three levels of Bank. The basement site has 4 hatches, allowing attackers to pick and choose where they want to drop, whether that is in the vault for a flank or CCTV for a plant. Soft floors can allow both sides to get some sneaky angles. The floor and stock can be a great tool for either holding on to stock itself or contesting open area. Some defenders like Pulse or Solus can also benefit off of soft floors, waiting for enemies to try for a plant and then, blowing them up. Most maps in Siege either have good or passable vertical, so when looking for a bad example, I get left with either casual maps, theme park, or villa. I'm going to complain about theme park later, so I'll talk about villa for now. So villa has 3 floors, but it only uses 2 of them. The basement doesn't have a bomb site, and of the 3 entrances, only one is accessible without a hard breach. There are no soft floors, although there might look like it. An entire floor of the map is only for rushers entering without being seen and rats. Okay, but what about the rest of the map? Well, think about how often you play vertical on this map. The wide rooms and more roamer-focused elements of the map like 90 make it hard to properly hold anything from below. Villa has its points though. The next thing I found while looking at maps was usefulness of areas outside sight. We're not raiding sheds, shocking as that may seem, we're raiding buildings. Ideally, your maps should be semi-realistic to ground them in a setting. Hallways, soft walls inside, stairs, and everything in between all come together to make the map a map. Easier said than done, Villa basement. Take 90 on Villa. You're equipped with a little pocket to take a breather and reload, and you can cover boar, statue, and if you swing further out, top red. On your other side, you can block the hallway that leads to main. It's adjacent to sight, but still incredibly important. When defending hunting and statue, it's common for attackers to break into master, usually by chilling on the terrace for a bit. A defender in study can usually get a free pick or 2 by shooting out the window. They can move into aviator and contest top red, making study an important piece of real estate for defenders to hold on to early in the round. Does this image here fill you with rage? It fills me with rage. This might be the worst attempt to add an extra route to the basement I have ever seen. Anyway, this soft wall leads to an empty room, then a staircase, which leads to a hallway, and then the rest of the map. What does defense get out of playing in a hallway? Not really anything unless you're playing split. As for attackers, if they want to get to the same room where that hall ends up, you've got 3 alternative options right there. It's completely redundant. Behold, the "we planned this poorly" room. I mean, sure, you've got a bunch of soft walls, a hatch to make a quick getaway, and it's by sight. That's great, right? Admin is covered in stuff, and you'd be extremely open at the same time, so you'd probably end up fighting repelled people, which is a massive pain for both sides. You've got coverage for manager, but nobody's going to be there considering you're already stopping admin anyway. I can't think of how to fix this aside from just shrinking the map. It's evident that Ubisoft tried to make a strong point here and they failed. At least they tried though, because the strong point serves a purpose for both attackers and defenders. Defenders have a simple and easy to understand spot to defend from, and attackers, coupled with map knowledge, can know exactly where they are and act accordingly. For example, Oregon. Oregon has several spots of note, like attic and elbow. Main and master can be held almost simultaneously, and the defender has a safe exit route back into sight. If, say, an Ash or Zofia broke open attic with a hard breacher going in from their rear, the strong point can be emptied of its occupants relatively easily. Now if games gets open, your player and trophy can easily cover them for a plant. So to reiterate in more general terms, it should be a spot on the map that allows defenders to hold a large portion of the map while still being relatively safe, but provides a way for attackers to clear it and gain ground. But what happens when you don't have these strong points sprinkled throughout the map? In Emerald Plains, there aren't really any spots that allow defenders to hold a lot of space. I mean, take Top Orange. Some footholds by the breach could allow a defender to contest both the stairs and the breach when the gallery and meeting site is the special site. So what about this window? An OSA alone makes this entire spot obsolete. There's still this balcony window and the doorway to CEO behind these metal blinder things. There's so many points here to watch for that if attackers go for a pinch, it's unavoidable with no special effort required for the attackers. This leads to more roaming within the map. So anchors like Castle, Mute, or even Mira suddenly don't have a place that fits their niche, instead benefiting gun-focused operators like Valkyrie or Warden. Attackers that specialize in dealing with these entrenched positions also find themselves lacking a point, like Fuse, Kappa Tau, or Zofia. So, we've covered most of the points I'd like to cover, except for debatably the most important part. Atmosphere and the overall mental aspect of the map. I mean, sometimes you look at a map and just don't like it, you know? Like on paper, I prefer Emerald over Coastline because I prefer hard breaches and it has more of those. But I don't. I like Coastline more because it's brighter, it doesn't feel nearly as crowded due to these weird partial wall things that Emerald Plain has. Coastline, Bank, Villa, and even Emerald Plains just all feel better to play on than darker maps like Theme Park or Favela. I mean, Theme Park is, I think, gotta be my least favorite ranked map. There's vines growing all over the place, the paint is chipping off the boards, and metal is rusting. I may be legally an adult, but arcades were before my time, and coupled with the broken and dirty atmosphere, just makes me feel as if there's something wrong about this abandoned place. The calendars have no year. This bathroom makes no sense, and the sheer amount of places people could be but aren't is pretty uncomfortable to me. So, to end things off, why don't you and I try to actually make the best map that anyone in Siege has ever seen? I mean, actually, I don't know about you, but I'm rather lazy, so why don't we just skip that part and just examine it because it's already in the game? It's Chalet. I mean, you've got 2 breaches, which happen to be on the 2 most popular sites. The garage one is outside, allowing attackers to have a relatively easy breach. There's one that's at top fireplace, but that can be easily controlled by defense, and offers a huge advantage to the attackers if it does actually get opened. The upstairs is vital to holding both first floor sites, and if you've got RAM, can even be used to stop a bandit tricking in basement. Half wall and the default rotate can be easily contested underneath as well. Not an inch of first or second floor is wasted. Car garage is a bit big, but I use it all the time to enter, so it still isn't a complete waste. Strong points are predictable and can be countered relatively easily if you bring the right tools. It's got a bright atmosphere with a cozy interior. The ceilings are high up and you've got to search to find something wrong visual-wise with the map, and even then you might not find anything. And that's it. And hopefully you learned something. Maybe it was on topic with the video, maybe it was how you don't share my opinion and now want to murder me. Whatever you discovered, I'm glad I could help with that. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.